Welcome, Chad Littlefield here, co-founder of We and Me, and I'd love to share one of the most useful tools for creating immediate engagement in a virtual meeting, conference, classroom, etc. And that is this idea of the unofficial start, something that starts 5 to 10 minutes before the official start time and goes into a few minutes after the official start time to allow for Wi-Fi issues to shore up and the commute from the kitchen to the office or the living room, whatever you have it. And so you can see one example right here, jumping on a screen on Zoom, and this is here using Zoom in particular, using the annotate feature to go ahead and place a stamp. So I'll show you how that's actually done in Zoom. If you pop over to Zoom, what you want to do is screen share your presentation. When you do that, this pops back up, and depending on what device people are on, sometimes they have it's obvious access. You can see the annotate button right down here. Sometimes you might need to click more and find it, and sometimes I've found that some people just can't find it. And so like anything digitally facilitated, don't spend too much time on any one technology, because chances are it may not be working for someone. So to include everyone, be quick with how you change it up. So in this case, I'm going to click annotate. You'll see it opens up this menu for a bunch of different options. The stamp tool is what I'm suggesting here. So I'm currently in Asheville, North Carolina, although soon I'll be living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And so you can place a stamp wherever you're from. So if you've got, like today, we're going to be doing a workshop with 200 people. And so we'll see 200 little hearts pop up all over the world, which is kind of cool. And you can also, especially with a smaller group, you could then say, now go down to the stamps and click the star option for one place that's been on your bucket list that you really want to travel to. So I've really been wanting to go to this little small town in Portugal. So there we go. Right? Kind of a cool way to just engage. Another example of a way to do an unofficial start would be that goes a little bit deeper, perhaps. By the way, you can clear drawings, undo, just while we're here on the annotation feature. There's some really useful things like Spotlight. Like if you want people to vote, you want your company to vote on the next retreat location, you can have them pull up a world map and click the arrow button under Spotlight, and it actually has their name. So you can see who's voting for which place, and you can only have one vote. So lots of creative ways to use that. Right now, just focusing on unofficial start. And if I can figure out how to exit out of this, annotate, there we go. Clicking over to the next slide, here's another great example of an unofficial start using the chat. So again, something that starts a few minutes before, goes into a few minutes past the official start. In this case, just typing in what inspired you to say yes to hopping on. And the ideal here is that the question allows people to connect to each other and allows people to connect to purpose rather than just being busy work to keep them engaged. It actually has some intention or purpose to jumpstart the call. The 2.0 version of this chat official start would then be, once you type in your response, go and listen by reading everybody else's response as just kind of a check-in. And the reason I love this so much is that it is a way for people to engage and actually have a conversation faster than they would be able to in person, because you can all talk at the same time with your fingers, and then you can listen at scale by reading what everybody said. And so everybody can speak and everybody can be heard all in the span of about 5 minutes or so. If you were to do this kind of question with a group of 20, say, in person, what inspired you to say yes to showing up today? That would take about a half hour to get around by the time everybody kind of articulated that story. And so I love finding ways that virtual connection can actually be even a step better than in-person connection, because it can't replace in-person connection, but there are some ways that it can actually be better. Hope this is useful to you. If you have any questions for me, Will, or a team, we exist to make connection easy for people, and in this particular context, we exist to make virtual connection easier for people. So if you've got questions, reach out to us. If you want us to come facilitate a virtual connection lab with your group, happy to do that as well, and hope to See you soon. Cheers.